Hi, this is Nick here from Gorgon Reviews. I'm here with Joe Taslim, an amazing martial artist and actor. You may know him from many things, including The Raid, Fast and the Furious 6, and the last two Mortal Kombat movies. But he is here today to talk about the movie The Furious, which is coming to theaters this June. Thank you for spending some time here today.
Thank you for doing this day.
So it goes without saying that you're an incredibly skilled user of judo and martial arts overall. How did that journey eventually lead you into film and acting?
Well, I used to be dedicated my life to judo, represented Indonesia, my country, for 12 years. I think I grew up, all my youth life was only for judo. I didn't really have a youth life, no party, nothing. I just trained 3 times a day. And then I did it for my father at first because, he loved martial arts so much and I didn't love it before. I wanted to become a musician when I was young. But at one point I won my first national championship and then I kind of fell in love with it. Like, hey, okay, this is pretty cool. And then all the girls kind of like, hey, and I go, oh, this is like quite cool to be on a podium and then people think that I'm cool. And then starting from there, I think uh because of my interest to art still strong, and then I retired 2009, and then from there I kind of like decided to pivot to do action to become an actor, and then in a lot of action movies because I grew up watching a lot of Hong Kong action movies. So introduced me to Gareth Evans for The Raid. That was my first action movie.
Mhm.
I got very lucky, I met the right person straight away. And then from there, everything is history. And then it just, changed my life forever. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people were first introduced to your work through the raid. Really
Mm.
set a high bar for like on-screen action films.
Yeah.
Um, Coming from a real martial arts background, was it like challenging to adapt to the choreographed stage combat for like film?
Yeah. It was a bit, for me to adapt because in my opinion, in action movie, do they really, hurt each other? Because when I was competing, I always want to try to hurt my opponent to, break his arm and choke him until he tapped. Right? And then, but I think, and during the process of the raid, and we trained for 3, 4 months prior, and I
Mhm.
realized this is an art. This is the art of fighting, a screen fight, right? So it's all about creating illusions of violence, but in the execution, we don't try to hurt people. I think it's that's the beautiful thing about it. We're trying to create illusion that the audience watch the fights and then realize, oh, people could die doing it, but actually, it's every moment of fighting. If it's a one-on-one or 2 versus 1, everybody needs to have awareness that each one of them needs to protect each other. Of course, I cannot say there's no pain involved. Of course, pain is part of the game. You get hurt a little bit here and there, you get kicked in the face a little bit here and there. But as long as the chemistry is strong, that you understand each other's goal, that we need to deliver something amazing. And then everything else is just fun. And
So
then, yeah,
you said that took months of training before the raid started filming, so I assume
yeah,
there was a lot of time before the Furious as well. So
yeah.
how collaborative are the fight scenes? Are you bringing your own ideas into the choreography, or is this all just mapped out in advance and you're just kind of learning the steps?
We have amazing action director Kensuke Sonomura and Kenji as well. So both of them choreograph and design amazing fight scenes for us. And then at one point, I think my job, I was, I was curious kind of person. I tried to like, is it possible to do that? Is it possible to do this? But I think every conversation we had, I realized that these guys, they're just masters. They're just amazing songwriters, and I'm just a singer. And then for me, my job, it was a bit easier for me that because I trust them so much, I didn't really put a lot of thinking of like, I could do this, I could do that. For me, I just have to sing the song the best I can and trust in the process. And from there, it's all about me focusing on the character more rather than the action because the action itself, I don't really have to worry that much. But for me, it's just focusing in how Navin is believable, how people can relate to Navin, how people, when Navin fights, people need to connect to this character. That's the goal for me as an actor in this process.
Yeah. So in The Furious, you play a journalist searching for his missing wife, which kind of
True,
drags him into this dangerous world. What
true.
drew you to this role?
It drew me to this role. I have three kids, and then I don't know. For me, story involving child trafficking, human trafficking, and then I live in Southeast Asia. I know that things happening in that region. It's not a
Mhm.
secret. So, an opportunity for me as a human being, as a father, to dedicate, my work to my kids, to build awareness about this issue, and at the same time working with the best people that know what they're doing. They're like maestros of actions, and it's a both. It's a great message, but at the same time, I know I can elevate action by involving myself into this amazing team. I'm grateful.
I'm glad you brought up kids, so this question is less random. A decade ago, you did receive a Best Actor award for the Kids' Choice Awards in Indonesia, and I
Yeah,
tried my best to kind of like look into it to see like speeches or videos. I couldn't find anything, of course, but I
yeah,
love it. And like, I want to know in those award ceremonies, do they also slime the winners there?
they did. Nickelodeon, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They did. When they told me though, we gotta do it, I said like, yeah, do it. Why not? I'm
yeah.
okay. You know?
You were warned in advance, but there was no practice. It was just here's it going, right?
Yeah, I know. I survived a lot of crazy action scenes, so it's not gonna hurt me.
Right. For The Furious, did you have a most enjoyable part of making that film?
I met new friends, beautiful, talented people, and that's probably something that I can take from with me forever. And Brian, Shamyao, Yayan, definitely Yayan. I've been working with them for forever. So met new friends, new talented people, and then my relationship with Kenji started from there. And then we're still going, and our dream is to keep working together. So it's first of many. I know it's the first of many that I know for sure that I don't trust a lot of people, but I trust Kenji.
It's good to hear there's more to come. Final question. You were also in an episode of the TV show Blind Spotting, which is very different than your other works.
Yeah.
How'd you end up joining that project, working with the team?
Well, I mean, it's so funny because, well, I told you like I wanted to become a musician when I was a kid, and then it never too late for something great. So I taught myself a lot of things. I taught myself to play piano. I taught myself to play drum. I taught myself to play guitar. I taught myself to DJ. I learned everything from YouTube. So I'm not good, but good enough to entertain myself. And then when one day the producer of Blind Spotting saw I posted something, I play instrument and sing a song on my Instagram account, and he said like, "Holy cow!" I mean, like, you know, why are you interested to do something that involving action and music at the same time? And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Because I wrote a role for you that you're gonna fight and then you're gonna sing. You're gonna play piano and sing. I said, like, how crazy is that? Of course I want to do it. Why not? And we did it. And blind
Yeah.
spotting involved like action scene, and then at the end of the fight, I serenade my girlfriend
Mhm.
playing piano and singing at the same time.
It was a great side of you. But once again, thank you for spending time answering
Yeah,
questions about your career in Furious. It opens up on Friday, June 12th in a theater near you somewhere. And it sounds like we're going to get you in an action musical also in the future. So I can't wait to see
that's the
that.
dream, Nick. Come on, we gotta make it happen. Somebody, please, let's do it.
Yes. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.